Welcome to your astrological natal chart report. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the ultimate quality, or rather the utmost of quality, from this report. Normally, I like to start with the rising sun and moon, but instead, I'm going to start with your north node. Being that not only do we have the north node in Gemini for you, but it is also on Chiron. And this is also opposite Uranus in Sagittarius. This is perhaps what may be responsible behind all the misunderstanding that you have ever faced. One being you, but more so whenever it comes to sharing your perception. So, and not just sharing your perception, but specifically sharing your perception of what's true. This nature of destiny alignment is so rare. There's no one else in the whole world that has this but you. I can say that with full confidence. And if there was anybody else that had this, and to put this in context, the report that I recorded just now, right before you, by a stroke of coincidence a month, actually it was also someone born 1984. And so she also has specifically even Neptune 29 degrees and Chiron and North Node in Gemini. It's just you were born about a month before her because her sun's in Virgo. But despite that, for you to have an exact alignment from 12th house to 6th house is the legendary nature of your relationship with this true destiny. You want to see Chiron also as a key. So you got the key to destiny. You got the key to true destiny, rather. You got the true key to destiny. And I want to establish this because at this stage of your life, where the North Node is returning to establish the key that you have spent your whole life, because in order for the key to actually come to life and power, it has to gain energy through your life force, through living, which it makes it even more significant that your sun in Leo makes you the source. My code name for Leos are the plug. When people want to get drugs, they go to the plug because the plug got everything. But we could also speak of Leo being the literal plug that you plug in so that you can get energy, as Leo is the source and also the main character of this play, the lead role. So, at this stage of your life where you're coming into a Chiron return after you come into your nodal return, you more than anybody are very, very understanding and aware that you have the key to destiny. And so, once again, just like the lady who I read before, she also shares into this aspect like you do. Your perspective of this, however, is highly legendary as a Capricorn rising, especially with Jupiter next to your rising, solely because Uranus on literally next to the 12th house blesses you with an unconventional spiritual path that no one could ever even come close to understanding unless they've awakened their God powers. I swear. Like, if you were to share this facet of yourself with anyone who hasn't really ascended, Sagittarius definitively is a zodiac sign of ascension. Once you reach mastery at Virgo, enlightenment is Gemini. Virgo is mastery. Then you pass the gateway of the gods through Libra, gain purification through transformation in Scorpio. Boom! We've now ascended into light Sagittarius, which is important because the fifth house and extension of Leo is Sagittarius, which represents Olodumare and Olorun. Or Olorun, Leo, and Olodumare, the creator, Sagittarius, respectively, where the creator, Sagittarius, is an expression of the love from source, Leo. So from ascension, you have ascended mastery at Pisces, but this is what leads to graduation and completion in Capricorn. So, unless someone's ascended, if you were to share the innermost facets, the 12th house is the private house, right? If you were to share what you privately see into the meaning of life, people would think you're batshit crazy. And then people will want to admit you into a nursing home or a insane asylum, when the truth is you're actually supernaturally genius. So much so that this same sense of genius can threaten to actually make you crazy, because a part of your soul is going to be aware of the hidden reality you're experiencing while still also seeing into the duality of people who may not even be aware this exists. That is going to have a toll and tax on your conscious mind. In fact, we see this in the chart, and this is the square with 0 degree Virgo in Mercury in Virgo, where it's exalted, by the way. So congratulations. Your mind that constantly analyzes reality to filth and breaks down the details is sometimes not going to be able to compute this unreal sense of, or rather, what makes it unreal, by the way, is Neptune, but the unconventional sense of seeing into the meaning of your reality, which, because Mercury in Virgo is the highly analytical mind, it's going to analyze what's real. And so when you analyze what's real, it's going to analyze, wait a minute, that's not supposed to be happening. That's not really real. And that's what's going to help you see into supernatural phenomena that completes your understanding of what's true. But once again, Uranus is trans-Saturnian. Everything Saturn, if you notice, the personal planets are before Saturn. So everything up to Saturn is everything you see in society. This is why Saturn is represented by our government and monolith, right? And Jupiter is religion. It's before or belief, philosophy, high science. And so these are pretty much the last observable planets. Uranus is trans-Saturnian. Neptune is trans-Saturnian. Pluto is trans-Saturnian. Even Chiron. Chiron is between Saturn and Uranus. Chiron is the key from the material realm to the supernatural. And this is why Uranus ruling Aquarius sees them out to be rebelling against the system. You see Neptune ruling Pisces, they escape reality because they're not from here. And then you have Pluto ruling Scorpio, which is deeply unconscious. You can't see these planets. This also correlates to trans-dimensional aspects in our consciousness, something that you're directly aware of within anybody. But if you were to speak to people who aren't initiated or see it, oh, they're going to think you're crazy. In fact, they may even project on you that you're the reason why what's happening in their life is happening, because you present this supernatural magic experience to those who can see. Others will just see the surface level. And this is also important because in the 12th, for maybe the first part of your life, this may have been unconscious to you. As anything in the 12th, you're not always going to be super aware of why. Now, the reason why you will is because your sun is in the 8th. It falls in the 7th, but your sun in Leo can now see into these supernatural dynamics. But at this stage of your life, especially now that all this energy is in Capricorn in your first, you can control these dynamics completely. And so, like, your 12th house has 29-degree Neptune in Sagittarius with sextiling 29-degree Pluto in Libra, which is social mastery. Ironically, Pluto could be a difficult area that is tough for us to master, especially in the 10th, where you may always have a sense of social anxiety because of power plays and impurity within social dynamics that make it difficult for you to call out a lack of integrity just because of corruption. This is actually going to be the definitive transformation of society that you contribute, in that you really just put an end to these dynamics. And that goes a lot into this 12th house Sag of you unveiling the hidden meaning behind what's actually happening in experiences. Mercury and Virgo is what's able to communicate that detailed, but you have to also understand Mercury and Virgo, as magical as it is, sometimes cannot comprehend this abstract sense of genius that goes into your ability to literally just cut through the bullshit and see what's happening. So seeing that the South Node is here shows that this is an aspect of mastery. This is something you're very skilled at. And this is also why if you rest in the 12th is the house of undoing, because it has the potential to take away, in this case, from your Capricorn rising, which is put together, industrious, forward moving as its cardinal. And you can it's not getting stuck, but you could be so in tune with this channeling of this creator vibration that shows you and unravels the meaning of everything that you lose motivation to even do anything. And so this is what you've learned to serve you, to help serve others, instead of letting it hold you back. And seeing that the North Node is connected to your 6th house means that this supernatural sense of yourself is, which borrows from a past life, literally, is what you now express in service truthfully to others, to deal with others and help transform them at a heart level. In fact, you apply this key to unlock the truth of people's lifestyles. It's like that 12th house Sagittarius is a hidden camera, and not bird's eye view, but God's eye view that shows you the truth of someone's lifestyle and how they can free it up and align it authentically to them. You also have Mars on Saturn, and Mars on Saturn in Scorpio is so extreme and so intense. First, the nature of what this does to your sex drive, it tantrically exploits the extreme nature of the purity of Scorpio and has the opportunity to kind of bestow a supernaturally deep and psychological hunger and thirst, not even for sex, but for intimacy. It's going to mean that you have a super strong soul strength and sexual expression. One that, for example, I have Mars in Aries. So I'm very impulsive. I'm very instinctual. When it comes to expressing my sexuality, I could be too raw, but I could also, I don't really control it. It could just kind of express itself. Whereas the Scorpio energy will charge it. It'll, in a nuclear way, instead of just expressing it willy-nilly, it's deep control. And it's your ability with Saturn here to control that sexual tension, activating its magnetic alluring properties and seducing anyone you want. Now, this is where Leo squaring this is going to have a lot of sexual frustration, because at one level you're harnessing that energy, but then at the other level your heart is expressing this outwardly. If we look at this alchemically, we know Scorpio is negative. So it inerts the energy. It's receiving. And we know Leo is expressive. And so Venus and Mars clash here. And you're going to see that masculine Martian archetype carry the Saturn flavor. It's very controlling and very dictatorial, especially in Scorpio, which is supposed to be the ruler, which is the ruler, the underworld ruler. So it's going to be like insanely possessive. You're going to attract very jealous individuals. And the Venus is very extravagant. It's in the house of Scorpio. So this is going to be you sometimes very consciously gravitating towards the semi-toxic natures or semi-toxic experiences of possessiveness and jealousy. But there's a way that this can be healthy. It's not, see, just because it has the potential to be toxic in that way, it's not bad, nor is it even really toxic. It has the potential to be toxic if either one of these energies are not balanced. If there's too much Scorpio, we're going to see too much in the 11th house jealousy from other people in the 11th. If there's too much Leo, we're going to see too much possessiveness. And possessiveness is really Taurus, but more, what's the word? When someone is territorial, like the lion is territorial. So both of this is actually amazing together. This is the spiritual heart strength of Venus, which gives you a strong heart. And then the nuclear soul sexual strength of Scorpio that allows you to bear this expressive fire, bonfire Leo energy in the deepest of ways. It's just they clash like a mug, especially the Sun Saturn. This is going to be this critical shade that you may get from jealous people with the Saturn that always has something to say in this sideways way. This is the eternal beef between Leo and Scorpio. And it seems that you can't escape it. It's in your chart. This is not a bad thing, though. These two signs also have the potential to love each other very deeply. Moon in Cancer is going to give you the Piscean signature and legendary quality of your Leo sun. And so you are the legendary Leo representative, right? As director, your title in Capricorn is the director. So as director, you carry the vibration of holy Christ consciousness. As Gemini is the spirit of truth, Cancer sun is the Holy Spirit, Leo sun is the spirit of Christ. And the Leo could also be really the queen or the king. This is actually the solar monarch. So you have this royal spiritual vibration and your soul is holy. So this is a sincere expression of creativity that allows you to feel into the divine nature of what's unseen, the subtle psychic vibrations, unconscious to most people at a heart level, allowing you to express that fully. And so you may in some cases know without knowing, but it's not really a knowing as much as it's a feeling, empathic feeling. And the power of this, of your Cancer moon, of you as a Cancer moon, that feels into the sincerity of other individuals. In that whenever anyone does anything, whenever anyone says anything, your Cancer moon is receptive to the soul of that individual, how they feel inside. It's what's going to lend towards, with the moon and its dignity here, nurturing that individual. And the strength of these powerful emotions is anchored by Saturn and Mars, that really has you be receptive to how evil people are, but really to the purity of where your soul belongs. This authority is what's going to have you, which Capricorn risings have this whole secret society vibe because of 11th house Scorpio, but like this is what's going to have you really form serious communities that take action like this. But you just want to make sure that people don't use your 11th house to now turn around on you and shame you. See, if Capricorn is guilt, Scorpio is definitely shame. especially Pluto. So the people in your 11th house can shame you for being sexy. In the eighth house, Leo is like a Scorpio Leo. Like, it's a very sexual Leonine energy that engenders intimacy. And with Venus here, can elicit jealousy of all kinds. And so this Scorpio square could be an outside influence that seeks to do that in some weird roundabout way with which you have to put in check. But your Cancer moon is going to have you feel that within other people to sort out how sincere people's actions are. Moon in Aries does the same thing. My moon's in Capricorn, moon in Libra, right? The difference is moon in Aries feels how original someone's character is. Moon in Libra feels how classic or true someone's character is. Moon in Capricorn feels what integrity is in a character. And Moon in Cancer feels how sincere an individual's actions are, which is actually one of the most important because the moon is in its dignity in Cancer. So seeing that it's directly opposite Jupiter is an unconscious evolution mechanism that backs this receptivity to emotion and that psychic sense of individuals to flesh this out realistically through your body language. And someone like you, this is what I love about Leo. I always, it's like y'all are very tapped into the reality of exorcisms. Like y'all see literally that nature of how the heart could be rigged, riddled and plagued with demons. And also, impurities that through psychological maladies get in the way of who they are. And a lot of that has to do with the Leo sun ability to see into a person's heart and inner child. We do see that Venus and Sun trine Uranus here, and that's what's going to lend into the unconventional creativity that allows you to blend your experience of what's happening in the spiritual with reality. Mercury trines this Neptune aspect in Jupiter, and that's what's going to aid this mastery of passionate analysis in the unconventional, supernatural, rather, magical ability to now peer beneath and beyond the surface and beyond reality to now flesh out analytically what's happening behind the scenes. And this is what, once again, has you harness this key into truth, where you unlock the true reality of what's happening. And once again, it's very important to illustrate that this is your destiny. And with Uranus here, now, if we're going to put this into context, this grants at this stage too, where you've cleared all this karma and all this is your first house, reality warping. Just textbook reality warping. You see it, you say it, it is it. Boom. And it's going to incorporate other people being synchronicities. The reason why this is important is because once we come out onto the eclipse that is going to facilitate the rest of this nodal return, you're actually going to have no choice but to rely on this sense of your spirituality to manifest, but really to live your life. Where the old postmodern traditional way of making a living doesn't work because this world is over. The apocalypse has come to end it. And the way this is why your destiny is to serve people, to align them to their true lifestyles, so that when this life ends, you've unlocked their true self through this, and they know how to adjust and live in this new world. And this is so very important because it speaks to your soul origin or your spirit origin. It's like you're from the ancient future. It's like you're from Mount Olympus and you came here to assist humanity, obviously, of course, being the lead role. So this is about you. And you are making it about others because this is how selfless you are. So, there's a great integrity in your character that you sincerely express to others in ways to align them in truth and love. And I hope you enjoyed this report. Once again, the eclipse in Sagittarius season is going to unlock fully your clairvoyant ability to literally just see in your mind's eye the experience you want to step into and literally just step into it. Like, this is a highly advanced level of reality warping, because at the innermost core of your being, you're supernaturally endowed. And I mean, it's not even about being supernatural, but you definitely are incredible in the way you express the truth and holy message of Christ to others with love and with respect. And until next time, you stay blessed as always.